Hi there. Welcome to this week's episode of the podcast with me, Russell Davis. This week, we're looking at the power of connection. So often in our relationships, whether it's our loved ones or family or colleagues, we overlook connection. We jump into education. We tell them what we think. We tell them we understand what they're thinking, how they're feeling. But actually, we miss a step. We slow things down and just focus on some connection first. It's amazing how much it brings ease in relationships. Well, let's unpack why that is and how you can create more connection. There's a thing in teaching called a teachable moment. It's a time when the class is fully present. The teacher feels they have their attention, they're engaged, they're learning. There'll be other times if the teacher feels like they're battling to get the class's attention. Apparently on windy days, it's more typical that's a time when it's harder to get a class engaged. They seem to be all over the place kind of psychologically. Their attention wanders. We have a friend who was a teacher. Well, is a teacher, and she was a teacher in a mainstream school in a very young kind of age group, and one of their young pupils brought in this bird's nest they found in their garden. And the other pupils were captivated by it. And they all huddled around this bird's nest, asking all sorts of questions. It prompted all sorts of conversations. But then the teacher found herself saying, this is all well and good. We need to put this away now because it's a literacy hour. And she's thinking, what am I doing? They're captivated. They're learning so much. Why am I breaking up this learning experience? And it's one of the things that led her to move away from mainstream education to more of a child-led learning environment. And a teachable moment is not just relevant for teaching. The basis of it is connection. The class, the pupils feel connected to the teacher, whether it's one-to-one or in a group setting. And connection is the prerequisite for education. Connection is the prerequisite for someone opening their mind to new possibilities, new ideas. Connection is key for relationships. Because when someone feels in connection with someone, they feel connected to you. Unconsciously, they feel safe, they feel seen. It's a safe just to open their minds. They should feel they trust. It's the key to trust. You can't almost lead someone to new possibilities and new ideas without connection, without that trust. As a rabbi, I know that one of his congregation came up to him and asked him if he'd go and see his son. His son was in his 20s and he'd been sectioned and he wouldn't speak to anyone. I can't remember the technical term when someone is just psychologically shuts down and becomes almost mute. And Shaw said, I've got no specific training in mental health, but I'm very happy to go and spend some time with that will help. And Shaw went to see this young lad and he started talking, just filling the silence as often you do. Then he caught himself and he realised, I'm just speaking to fill the silence. I'm just going to get silent until I feel really inspired to say something. And he just got silent. And he dropped into this feeling of connection with this young lad. And he just stayed in that space until he felt inspired to say anything. And actually the next 35, 40 minutes went by, he didn't feel the need to say anything. He just enjoyed the silence, just being with this other soul. And then when he left, he said to the young lad, thank you. I've really enjoyed our time together. And he genuinely meant it. He felt a sense of connection and presence with another soul. I don't know what happened after that, but I wonder if it had kept going back and doing that, that young lad would probably opened up to Shaw. Because he felt no pressure, just nothing but love and acceptance. Shaw's meeting him where he is at. It's connecting to him. It's like trying to lead a horse with no connection. It's just not going to happen. They're going to dig their heels in. I remember there was a time my wife and I were on holiday somewhere. There's a European city, I can't remember what it was, but it's a typical European city with a square, and there are cafes all around it. It was lunchtime. We were hungry. We thought we'd get some lunch. And there's seating outside in these cafes. And we went up to one, and it wasn't clear whether it's cafe style, you sit down and I guess a server comes to you, or whether you wait to be seated. My wife got a bit nervous, didn't want to upset anyone, didn't want to do the wrong thing. So she just got a bit nervous and hesitant. And I was saying, it's fine, let's go and ask. Let's go and ask. Come on, let's go and ask. I was getting frustrated that she was being so hesitant. And I was saying, come on, we'll go and ask. Let's go and ask. But at that point, I was, 20 feet away from her. There's no connection. I was trying to lead her without connection. Well, I should have gone back to her, stood with her, looked in her eye, held her, said, I see you're nervous. You're nervous about doing the wrong thing. How about I go and ask someone? Create some connection and understanding before leading. And that's true for not just leading as in a professional way, leading someone to understand something about you, leading someone to understand about themselves or understand what you're trying to share with them. Connection is key. Because we often don't realize, or we forget, that we all live in our own model of the world. I might judge my wife as it's not being necessary to be worried about that situation, and dismiss it as just unnecessary comments, go and do this, rather than actually really acknowledging her model of the world, how she feels in that moment. That's her reality in that moment. That's her reality. Until I acknowledge that, meet her in it, can't lead her from it, can't help her to have a more helpful experience until I meet her in it, until I understand it. She feels understood in it. And we can't do that when we're stuck in our own model of the world, our judgment, our assessment, our thinking of it. It's about listening to where they're at. It's about getting our own model of the world into someone else's model of the world. And realize we all think differently. We can't assume people think the same as us. We can't assume we're on the same page. I often do a talk and I show a little GIF of spinning ballerina. And some people will see her spinning clockwise. Some people see her spinning anti-clockwise. It's the same GIF. It's a mental construct. We see things through our own filter of our thoughts, beliefs, life experiences. So the first step is calibration, calibrating to their model of the world, where they're at, without judgment or evaluation, just understanding where they're at. Get out of our model of the world and understand their model of the world. And that then forms connection. We can't listen while thinking. We can't listen while thinking. Listening to create connection is about listening with a quiet mind, about hearing beyond the words what this soul is sharing. Without thinking, without judgment, assessment, evaluation, just being. And the more we do that, we hear in a much deeper way. It's much deeper listening. We understand what that person is saying beyond the words. Because our soul is formless. And words are finite. We've got a lot of words in the English language, but they're still finite. What do they really mean when someone says they feel angry? What does that really mean? The Greeks have 9 words for love. We have 1. I could say I love my wife, I love Mama, I love Tottenham Hotspur. They're all different forms of love. We have 1 word for love. And we think we know what someone means by what they're saying, but do we really? We think we know through our own filters, our own model of the world. Listening is about listening without thinking. It's being present to someone and hearing beyond the words. That's when someone feels connected. And when someone feels a connection to you, it creates trust. Their mind opens. And that's when you can perhaps help them see something differently or help them to understand where you're at. You can educate once you've got connection. Connection's the key. It makes life easier. Connection in relationships just brings ease. It brings so much ease. We spend so much time in education and talking and judging and trying to get two models of the world to try and fit together. And it's just really hard work at times. But connection is the key. Connection helps them just fit together more easily. So I encourage you to explore connection before telling other people what you think or telling them you understand. Just get a sense. Is there a sense of connection first? Focus on connection and everything else seems to become easier. So it's calibration, connection, and then education. Loving you.